don't they have this lie detector kind of thing?
Is it only in movies or does PDRM have a lie detector
I'm sure
punya compare notes with this bahan yang edisi siasat keluar, kita compare this with the statement by the police, siapa yang bunuh arwah ZAYN Ryan? And for him to say so close yet so far, for me it's a sign. Alright, so ZAYN Ryan, arwah ZAYN Ryan. So malam tadi Satu Malaysia terkejut apabila satu posting di Telegram edisi siasat where they shared the kononnya lah, supposedly the actual police punya report atau findings, right? And ramai DM Cap tanya, is this real? Is this true? No way we can verify, like, right, Mas?
Yeah.
There's no way we can verify if it's real, if it's true. Tapi banyak benda dalam edisi siasat tu memang
kalau mengikutkan kronologi dia, it's kind of like macam boleh connect.
Almost
connect.
Yeah, so today kita nak buat kerja not to come up with like a conclusion, just to understand. Okay, kita compare all the laporan from the media, right? Kita compare laporan from the media, statement from the police, and then kita compare statements from this so-called edisi siasat. Which one is the most consistent in all the findings? For example, buat laporan polis. So semua pihak memang cakap keluarga buat laporan polis. So we say okay, that is the common factor for all these laporan from media, from police, from edisi siasat. Semua cakap pihak mangsa buat laporan polis. So I found something interesting here, okay? Something that I just want to share. Satu benda yang consistent among all the report is the autopsy, where they said that arwah ZAYN Ryan was found dengan pampers yang baru, right?
Yeah.
It was new pampers. Who would
change,
tukar pampers?
Yeah.
Kalau orang buat jenayah, you have to be a psycho to, number one, kill someone, and then lepas tu stay in that area for another 48 hours, right? As you know, the body was found the next day and it was placed nicely. Betul tak?
Ya, betul.
I kalau buat jenayah, contoh I rompak orang ke atau I tikam orang ke, the first thing I would do is run away. Pergi Thailand ke, go overseas ke, just chow, run away. But this guy or this girl, siapa-siapa yang buat jenayah ni, stuck around the kawasan.
It's brave enough lepak situ,
to be there, kecuali dia duduk situ.
Exactly.
Kecuali suspect duduk situ. Stay around the location, letak mangsa nicely, because arwah ZAYN was found in a very okay position. Kalau kita compare dengan case zaman 90s, I think Nur Jazlin, right, where they found the body of Nur Jazlin in a body, and then it was dropped off by a motorbike. So this particular case diletak dalam keadaan yang
the clothes were still clean lah, orang kata.
Baju pun masih bersih, and then pampers, new pampers. If you ask me, a lot of people on Instagram ask Cap, what's your pendapat? If you ask me, dua jenis manusia boleh buat kerja gila ni. Dua jenis. If we try to analyse character. Unfortunately, the psychiatrist is not here today. She's late. But this is my personal view. Two types of people that would do this jenayah. Number one, a psycho. Memang orang gila. Short. Sebab apa? Sanggup bunuh, sanggup buat benda yang jenayah yang sangat-sangat jijik. Dia sanggup stay around the location. Sanggup letak mayat. Sanggup tukar pampers.
But when you're talking about staying in the location kan, you have K9 dogs. Bukan satu tau. Many.
Correct. That went a few times and tak jumpa, tak bau.
Why?
Yeah, so most likely, maybe orang psycho yang buat kerja ni, ataupun orang yang rapat dengan arwah ZAYN, yang kenal arwah ZAYN, terbuat dan menyesal. For me, that would explain why pampers yang baru. That would explain the position in which he was found, and that would explain
But if you're talking about a psycho that is really bagus lah. Sebab apa? Dia bukan bagus dari segi apa, dia plan properly. Because K9 pun tak boleh jumpa. Mungkin dia bagi baju, I don't know, dia bagi ke proper baju, memang betul-betul adik ZAYN Rayyan punya baju ke?
No idea.
You
It's
get
a
what I mean?
crazy interesting case.
It's
Tapi
K9 dogs.
kalau kita compare all the laporan chronology from the media, police and this edisi siasat punya leak, so-called leak, I'm not going to touch on the other points lah. Sebab all these other points is we don't know if it's true. Kita hanya touch on points where all the laporan are consistent, which is cara the body was found, luka di bahagian telinga, and the pampers being changed, as well as the position and the waktu arwah ZAYN was found dalam keadaan tersebut. So for me, hanya dua jenis karakter saja. Satu, confirm psycho memang buat jenayah jijik, tukar pampers, letak cara elok, and then stay around the location. Ataupun orang rapat yang terbuat dan menyesal.
Kita kena tanya juga expert kita yang ada dengan kita hari ni juga, because dia biasa juga dengan kes-kes kan. Dan selalunya lawyers ni dia boleh tangkap je kalau orang tu tipu ke tak. Dia lebih kurang macam
tapi lawyers ni Mas, dia orang tak pilih whether you're right or wrong.
Tapi
lawyers,
dia tahu, tapi dia boleh tahu. Dia boleh tahu.
Tapi kalau dia tahu pun dia tak akan bagi tahu kita.
Tapi hari ni kita kena paksa dia bagi tahu.
Secara technical, a lot of public out there are confused. Macam mana dapat dari tuduhan 302 tiba-tiba this new section. Dato' Wan Azmi is my brother, well versed dalam dunia law. Over how many years, Dato'?
20 years.
20 years. So Dato', untuk masyarakat kat luar sana, what is this new section that was dituduh di mahkamah on the last day?
Alright. First, the investigation was conducted under Section 302, iaitu siasatan untuk bunuh. Then, when the thing went to court, it was charged untuk pengabaian kanak-kanak. So, it's more on abuse. So, that's what the section was charged
Apa punca yang tiba-tiba boleh tukar on the last hour, the change in section?
Okay. First, it's not so much the last hour of changing the section, is that because the crime of arwah has been committed, therefore the investigation papers kena buka section 302. Alright? Now, bila dah siasat 302, banyak benda mungkin berlaku. One is maybe like you said, negligence, ada kecuaian. Maybe something is premeditated, mungkin geram. So a lot of things happen. So you buka under 302, then suddenly you found out, it's not actually murder. Maybe it is something so much lesser, negligence, kecuaian. And that kecuaian does not give you the right to actually tuduh untuk section 302. Itu satu. Keduanya, even if kesalahan tu adalah kesalahan pembunuhan, tapi butiran and also the evidence that you have is insufficient for you to prove that there was murder committed by certain people. So then becomes also another problem. So you, at the end of the day, you will convict ataupun sabitkan orang atas pertuduhan that you can prove in court.
I see.
Okay? You prove that in court first, that buys you time. And as you go along, sama ada you siasat lagi, ada keterangan baru masuk, or you just leave it as it is. But in this case, it would show that bahan bukti yang dikemukakan ataupun dijumpai tidak mencukupi untuk satu pertuduhan 302. That's basically what it means.
Dari segi bukti.
Yes.
Tapi satu benda yang mungkin masyarakat tak faham, even I don't understand. Kalau kes-kes lain lah. Kalau kes-kes lain orang confess to the crime, Dato', how can, macam mana kalau orang penat-penat siasat, okay, yes, I confess, I buat jenayah tersebut. Tiba-tiba dekat mahkamah boleh tukar cerita? Memang boleh ke tukar cerita kat mahkamah?
Yes. Okay, dia begini ya. Kita ni ikut undang-undang yang ada. Undang-undang yang sedia ada. Ada dua cara untuk membuat satu pengakuan. Cara pengakuan pertama, you boleh buat masa dalam siasatan. Okay, so masa polis tengah siasat tu, dia tengah record statement tu, you pun tercakap lah, saya buat ni perkara 1, perkara 2. Now, statement tu, kenyataan tu, you cannot use in court. So, you mengaku you buat apa semua tu tak boleh pakai.
Really?
Yeah, you can't. Alright? Because that's how the law is.
I still don't understand. What is the point of you investigating something? When you get something, then you cannot use that. Betul tak?
Okay. You see, once you get, this is the reason why all these statements you cannot use now, later dalam mahkamah. Sebab terdapat banyak kes-kes yang mana ada kelopongan dalam kes-kes polis. Yang mana sebelum ni, sometimes keterangan tu datang melalui paksaan, janji. So when you get statements when in police custody, dia jadi statement yang dicurigai. Okay? Now, you may not have committed an offence, or you have not been in a circumstance yang akan dianiaya oleh setengah pihak. But what if you kena masuk sebagai seorang saksi? Okay? Dan sebab you dimasukkan sebagai orang saksi, you dikenakan dianiaya oleh pihak berkuasa. That is the reason why statement-statement yang diambil semasa dalam custody pihak berkuasa tu dicurigai. Takut ada janji, takut ada tekanan. And because of that statement bila masuk mahkamah is very questionable.
What happens if it's like just a normal conversation between like friends or any family members? Can it be used as well?
It can be used to a certain extent. Okay, dia gini ya. Statement dia ada panggil admissions, ada panggil confessions. So pengakuan yang mana undang-undang terima sebagai pengakuan tu, dia ada proses dia. Proses dia is you mengaku before a magistrate, before a judge. Pengakuan tu you boleh guna dekat mahkamah. Okay, itu satu. Now let's say I mengaku dekat Caprice, I did something. Now what is admitted in court is not that I committed the offence. Apa yang I mengaku ataupun apa yang Caprice akan cakap is Datuk Wan Azmi mengaku dia membuat satu kesalahan. But that doesn't prove I did it. It only proves I admitted to him. What? So dari segi undang-undang, dari segi undang-undang, when you say you admitted to someone, you must understand you admitted to saying to someone, that one is established, settled. Tapi sama ada perbuatan tu benar-benar dibuat atau tidak, it comes back to corroborated evidence.
So okay. Is this unique to Malaysia or
everywhere?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. You see, right now you are taking the position that a person is guilty when he is already investigated. Orang tu dah bersalah. Dan dia dah buat pengakuan. What if orang tu tak bersalah dan dia dah masuk dalam proses ni, dan dia buat pengakuan? Are you not suspicious? Okay, tak apa. Bila orang akan buat pengakuan masa ditahan? Mungkin ada tekanan ataupun mungkin dia secara sukarela kasih. But if dia secara sukarela, why change your mind when you go to court?
Maybe they're just not well in the head, or I'm not talking about this particular case. I'm talking about any other people lah kan. They can just change. If you're not well, right, you can just change your statement.
Yeah, very more reason why the statement yang you nak rely tu should not be established in court. Katalah you are not sound, katalah you take that position, you tak betul. Lagilah kenyataan yang you buat tu tak patut diterima pakai. If let's say you're convicted, katalah because of whatever reason, dituduh di mahkamah, wouldn't you want the police to bawa evidence mana gunting, mana baju, or you tunjuk baju tu, so that bila masuk mahkamah, bukan sekadar your confession which is going to convict you. Let's look at this way. In this ZAYN's case, katalah there's only a confession. Tak ada bukti bunuh, tak ada bukti angkat, tak ada bukti darah, nothing. Is that enough? Adakah itu mencukupi untuk mensabitkan dia? What do you think? Just dengan pengakuan saja. It's not fair. It's not fair. Because you don't know what happened in the custody of this one. Mungkin pressure, tak cukup tidur, gila, as you said. So, it is only fair bila masuk mahkamah, pembuktian tu ada. And kalau pembuktian tu tak ada, and you nak rely saja on confession, naya orang tu. So that is very dangerous.
So you're telling me, Dato', that let's say a hardcore case where the penjenayah berjaya sorok segala bukti, berjaya cuci semua darah dekat rumah yang dia buat orang tu, DNA is all gone, right? Tapi he was the most probable suspect, okay, assuming. Let's say the investigation took 8 months of hardcore asset, masa, banyak polis. Tapi after that 12 months, 1 year of investigation, tiba-tiba dia dah confess lah. Tiba-tiba dia masuk mahkamah and say, you know what, I didn't do it. That can happen.
Yeah, of course.
And it would just be the whole 12 months.
And it happens all the time.
It would be a waste of time then.
No, it's not. It's not a waste of time. Because, let's say, during the investigation, not only have I admitted to commit the offence, okay, I pun akan cakap, I sorok barang kat mana, I buat macam mana, kunci kat mana. Now, bila polis siasat, memang betul jumpa kunci ni dekat tempat A, yang mana sebelum dia buat confession tu, you tak jumpa. Now, all this will come up to become good evidence. That will convict you. But your confession alone should not convict you.
Oh.
So, dia akan cakap, saya guna gunting sebagai contoh. Gunting tu saya simpan dalam peti ais. Polis siasat dengan siasatan tu, oh betul jumpa dalam peti ais. Would that not show that you are partly involved?
Responsible.
But if let's say dia kata letak dalam peti ais, you pergi sana tak ada peti ais pun. How? You as a judge yang duduk nak dengar this case, are you not thinking that maybe dia tak mengaku pun kat dalam tu? But you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So this kind of things happen.
Dato', just curious, database kat Malaysia ni. Do you offhand, off record, do you know cases di mana orang yang tak salah dituduh, dijatuh hukum dan masuk penjara?
Okay.
Ada tak?
I know of cases that orang dituduh dan disabitkan di satu mahkamah tinggi. Dia start mahkamah tinggi dan kemudian dilepaskan di mahkamah rayuan ataupun di mahkamah persekutuan. And this happens all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Mungkin sebab dia tak lakukan, mungkin salah technical, mungkin salah macam-macam kesilapan saksi, tapi happens all the time. Sebab kita untuk kes bunuh ni, Cap, Mas, kita ada 3 proses. First, kita dengar first one, rayuan pertama dan rayuan kedua. So, mana 3 kali dengar. And menang kalah so many times, Cap. You can win all the way and then kalah suddenly. You know pun boleh macam tu.
Faham.
That can happen too.
All the time.
Tapi I dengar macam, let's say macam di luar negara, di Malaysia pun mungkin ada juga, bila mana section tu ditukar macam ni kan, and then bila masuk trial, benda tu akan turun, macam it will become cold. Dia tak hot macam ni. So the thing will be, bila dah cold tu, kemungkinan akan dilepaskan.
Okay, dia cold or hot, first is the media lah. How long social media and also the mainstream media takes care pandang kes ni. And kalau kata benda tu sejuk, therefore this case akan mati, dia tak macam tu.
Okay.
Sebab pihak-pihak yang bertanggungjawab untuk teruskan kes ni, pihak pendakwaan dengan hakim tu,
It's
masih
still
akan
on.
It's still on. So I mean, it's just because social media mungkin die down. Because kes bunuh ni mungkin, ataupun kes ni mungkin ambil 2 tahun, 3 tahun before kita tengok saksi naik. So it may take some time. So kalau 2-3 tahun tu, selalunya kalau kes lama, masalah kes lama bukan pasal kes tu nak dibuang. Tapi bila kes tu lama, saksi hilang, bukti hilang. You know, perkara yang ni yang mengganggu perjalanan kes supaya sukses untuk satu sabitan. It's nothing to do lama sejuk. It's lama rosak evidence. You get what I mean? Dia ada shelf life tak evidence. You got an IO, pegawai penyiasat sebagai contoh. Katalah pegawai penyiasat tu, touch wood lah, katalah something happens to him. You kena ada yang ganti. Yang ganti nak kena buka file balik. What if it's not good? So things like this happen along the way. Tapi kalau hari ni tuduh, besok bicara, it will save. It will save the time and it will make sure that perkara macam ni tak berlaku. But you cannot do that. Banyak kes. And satu kes tu, it takes 2 years, 3 years untuk habis. Seperti 302.
So benda ni Mas macam perkara biasa, di mana even if the person confess, last minute dia
It doesn't matter.
tukar decision and it would be
Doesn't matter. Kan?
wow.
Yeah.
That's why
Now
it's
the
on.
difference is this.
Yeah.
You have a confession, tapi setiap bukti tu tak menunjukkan pengakuan tu betul. That's one scenario. Okay, you ada confession and that confession dengan setiap bukti yang dibawakan nampak konsisten. It's different. So just you kena faham, satu pengakuan sahaja tak mencukupi. You must have other evidence. But if you just want to say that with pengakuan and other evidence conviction, yes. Tapi just pengakuan alone, no other evidence, tak ada bukti yang ada pembunuhan, niat semua tu, then it's difficult. Itu menganiaya orang juga tu. And that's why kalau saya pendakwaan, saya akan tuduh benda yang lekat. Because you don't want to go to court, aniaya orang for years, because 302 you tak boleh jamin. You have to leave them inside. And what if they really did not do it? You know, so things like that matters. So what they do is, they ambil section yang betul-betul lekat, and then tuduh macam tu. And if later on ada case lain, the thing develops, tuduh semula. Bukan 302 ni dah tak boleh tuduh lagi.
So
boleh.
302 can come back.
Can come back anytime.
It is
Janji.
still on, right?
It's always on.
It's always on.
It's always on. You see, the 302, arwah meninggal. So 302 is clear. Someone did it. It's whether you have proof and whether you can charge the person. Itu saja. You know, you can find the person who did it.
Can, let's say sekarang ni di charge section lain kan?
Yeah.
Let's say if they find any other evidence, they can be charged.
Yes, they can further be charged. Boleh.
Oh, okay. Alright. Okay, understood.
Mas, I'm lost. No, Mas. Sebab contoh kita banyak handle case gangguan seksual ataupun case liwat, for example.
Yeah.
Normally yang kita handle ni case liwat, contoh is only one-on-one, right? It happened in a car or in a room.
Yeah.
He molested the boy. He touched the boy. The boy goes home. Bagi tahu mak, cikgu rubber eye. There's no proof. But let's say through pressuring the cikgu. And that's like contoh, let's say he confessed. Even if he confessed through a phone call, that doesn't mean he will go serve time. Betul tak? Based on this current,
That's true.
Based on this current discussion, even if cikgu or siapa-siapa lah yang confess through a phone call, kita berjaya to trap him somehow lah. Let's say the power of psychology.
Unless if you trap through a video, that's a different story.
Yeah, but it's hard, right?
Yeah,
But if you got a phone call and minta maaf makcik, I minta maaf sangat, I takkan buat lagi. Let's say we get that on phone. Minta maaf makcik, I takkan buat lagi sentuh anak you. Boom. She records it, she go to the balai. He confess. Even if last minute dekat mahkamah, the cikgu says, no, I didn't do it.
Yeah. Let's not talk about he didn't do it.
He will walk free.
Let's say that, no, that's not my voice. Let's say that. You see how far it is? You see, when you say that, yes, that's my recording, basically the admission, not only to what is the contents goes, but you basically admit that video inside the court. Kalau kata memang suara I. But why would you want to do that? Wouldn't you say this is not my voice to make it difficult? And therefore you as the pegawai penyiasat kena hantar benda tu ke forensik, kena buat carian sama ada suara sama ke tak? You see what I mean?
Correct.
You see the evidence how you bawa kat mahkamah is because although you may think it's true, but dalam mahkamah you might have proof it's true. And cara nak bawa barang tu masuk mahkamah, it has to come not just, oh I have this evidence and you adduce. Siapa yang nak bawa evidence tu kat mahkamah? Pegawai penyiasat ke, Caprice ke, siapa yang nak bawa? So all these matters on how you bring the evidence into court lah.
That's heavy.
I didn't know it was this complicated, Mas.
Very uphill task untuk pihak pendakwaan, always. Sebab tu pegawai penyiasat tu kena siasat kes ni dengan lengkap supaya pendakwaan when they go to court they have a complete case. Otherwise they'll be attacked.
Tak, I umpama soalan ni daripada netizen lah, okay?
Yeah.
Bagi saya, apa yang saya faham bila kita siasat kan, apa yang kita nampak dekat dalam edisi siasat ni lah, itulah penyiasatannya. Tetapi bila seseorang sudah confess, tapi apa gunanya saya siasat? Dia dah confess tapi tak ada.
It's the way the law works.
Yeah, because as I said, we are looking at in the point of view that the person confess tu memang did it. Banyak kes orang yang confess tak buat pun ada.
Tapi agak-agak apa punca orang sanggup confess walaupun dia tak buat?
Many things. Kalau dalam undang-undang dia panggil topi. There is threat, oppression, promise and inducement. So benda topi ni, kalau ada 4 perkara ni, therefore your voluntarism gone. So let's say lah I tell you, Caprice, you jangan mengaku 302 lah, you mengaku 304. 304 baru 2 tahun. 2 tahun penjara. Let's say lah. You don't mengaku 304 because you tak sengaja buat. Then you kata, okay, I confess. You may come out to the end. That happens all the time.
Just to get a lesser
Ringan
sentence
sikit
lah.
lah.
And that is a promise. That is a promise. You tak kena pukul. But that promise itself cukup untuk you record a statement. Right? And you have to understand, if you are charged for 302, let's say there's no evidence at all against you. Langsung tak ada. Bila you akan dapat buktikan that you are actually innocent? Bila? 1 year, 2 years down the road tau.
Wow.
Meaning to say?
You duduk dalam dululah.
Duduk dalam sampai when the time comes.
Sampai the time comes that you have proven your innocence.
And imagine if you are innocent.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's 2 years of
So
duduk
that
dalam
balancing tu the court has to make. You know, the judiciary has to make, the system has to make, and the balance is we have to presume everyone innocent dulu. So
Okay,
all
that's why dia orang buat apa tu bantahan tu lah, because they don't want this thing to happen. Macam nanti kena duduk sana dalam lockup lama tunggu kan. If you are innocent then you kena tunggu lama lah. That's why. Sebab ramai yang mengatakan bahawa kenapa buat bantahan sekarang? Kenapa tak buat bantahan masa adik ZAYN RAYYAN meninggal?
Sebab family, keluarga.
No, a lot of netizens saying that
faham.
you know, I mean, mereka lagi lagi risaukan the parents yang diremand ni daripada masa ZAYN RAYYAN tu meninggal, because nobody did any protest during that situation, kan? Itu yang berlegal lah dalam social media. So now I understand lah why, because bila somebody dah kena remand, apa tu kalau di charge tu you need another like what, a year?
2 years.
Yeah,
2 years.
Yeah, 1-2 years. Kalau 302 lah, kalau bunuh. And after 2 years baru you show your innocence. Kesian lah that one.
So it does happen, huh?
It does happen a lot.
It does happen.
And I can safely say most murder cases, unless it's so direct, lepas.
Really?
Yes. Lepas. Unless you bunuh depan-depan, you know, but if you, most cases when they have alibi, when they are not caught in the act, lepas.
That's scary. I mean, that's scary. I mean, and it just shows that, I mean, not to say our undang-undang ni terlalu threshold tinggi, but it is quite high then.
There's a lot of technicalities involved. It's not just whether you committed the murder, it's also how evidence was gathered. Who are the witnesses who give evidence? Were they good and credible? Did they break during witness being crossed? You may be a solid witness, Mas, even you. Tapi bila I trap you with a question, you mungkin salah jawab, and jawapan salah tu may affect the case.
Wow.
All that happens, you know. Maybe you lied throughout the investigation, and during the court, tiba-tiba the truth came out, also affects the case. And that happens a lot. Everyone lies, you know. Either the witnesses lies because dia tak nak terlibat sebagai seorang pembunuh, sebab dia saksikan dan dia ada tempat kejadian tu. I've got cases like that. I've got cases yang ramai orang terlibat dalam pembunuhan, dipukul ramai-ramai, and bila you nak panggil saksi, you cannot tuduh everyone. Setengah orang yang melakukan kesalahan tu has to be your witness.
Okay, I'm curious here, Dato'. When you talk about lies, right? Don't they have this lie detector kind of thing?
Yeah. Is it only in movies, or does PDRM have a lie detector
I'm sure
punya
they
machine?
do.
In terms of how the the police actually moves and other authorities, it's not under the law untuk guna polygraph machine. Dia panggil polygraph machine.
Tapi we have it.
I believe some of the agency have it. It's just that you cannot use the results for court.
Oh, that one also cannot use
You
for court.
cannot. You cannot. You can use the results for you to initiate siasatan. You dah tahu no point nak cari dalam rumah, because you tengok dalam rumah pun nampak barang tu bukan kat sana. So from the polygraph you akan tahu mungkin barang tu dekat rumah, dekat office ke, dekat bawah jambatan. So it may lead you somewhere, but it cannot be used dekat dalam mahkamah. Those kind of evidence.
Just curious, Dato'. Just curious lah. Let's say you take a client. Normally, will the client tell you the truth first?
Well, sometimes they do.
Sometimes
They do, sometimes they don't.
So
Sometimes you discover it during even as late as when you start the trial.
let's say a client tells a lawyer, sebenarnya I memang buat. Tapi boleh tak tolongkan bebaskan I ataupun turunkan the hukuman.
Okay.
As a lawyer, let's say it happens to you. I guess that the question is, do you have to be professional and just bela this guy that just confessed he killed someone?
Yeah, that one will come back to the lawyer itself lah. Some lawyers can actually accept.
Afiq, check that one.
Some lawyers cannot accept, and it's an ethical issue. For example lah, let's not go as bad as this one lah. Let's talk about statutory rape lah.
Okay, Rogo.
Okay, statutory rape. 16-year-old girl consensually has sex with 40-year-old man. Sounds like statutory rape? Sounds lah.
Yeah, sebab
fair lah,
bawa
laki
umur
tu
lah. Bawa umur, yeah.
Okay. 17-year-old boy have sex with 16-year-old girl. Statutory rape still. But you think doesn't sound like rape, statutory rape. Sounds like macam boyfriend girlfriend. It's different tau. So it all comes back to how the circumstances and the facts are. Dia tak sama in all. So just because 45-year-old and 17-year-old dua-dua can commit the same offence, but actually the offence is different. This is an old man. This is a young man. So all that matters.
Oh, it plays a role.
Facts does matter.
Oh. Mas.
Mas terasa
I
Datuk.
can't ask the lawyer. I can't ask the lawyer, Datuk. Do you think this is real? Do you think this is real?
Okay, this ni Datuk. Saya terasa kes ni because dari day one, my friend shared to me and asked me to share it on my social media. Hari adik ZAYN RAYYAN hilang. That day itself, you can see my posting. The first day.
Oh, sebelum jumpa.
The first day, pukul 12.30 dia hilang, and then they were discussing it in WhatsApp group apa semua, Facebook apa semua, and then after that she said, can you just blast in your social media, kecil je kita punya following, tapi kita kena tahu, dia kata dia dah cuba buat laporan polis, tapi tak boleh lah nak buat apa-apa sebab dia after 24 hours baru dia can start searching kan. Okay. So mula daripada itulah bila saya post tentang adik ZAYN RAYYAN ni, saya ingat okay sekadar macam budak hilang macam tu sajalah. And then seni media masa pick up. Lepas tu it went crazy. And then bila diorang dah hantar kena, lepas tu saya pun sendiri menggigil sebab the next day my friend meninggal. Adik ZAYN meninggal. So kita jadi sedih lah kat situ kan.
You were emotionally attached to the whole
Yes,
case.
kind of. We can't actually kan. Sebenarnya tak boleh. Tapi benda tu macam kita terkejut. Sebab kita hanya nak bagi awareness sahaja. Tapi benda tu jadi lain. And after that, it took quite a while. I don't know whether it's long. I think kes lain pun lagi lama kan. Ini baru 6 bulan kan. Tapi semalam, honestly, saya tengok polis bila dia keluarkan kenyataan, Datuk Suhaili keluarkan kenyataan, saya pula sedih sebab dia kata so close but yet so far. You get what I mean? So
but that's a sign, you know, like I mean listen, PDRM gets a lot of flack lately lah. Police Raja Malaysia ni banyak for the past 3-4 months they've been getting a lot of heat. You know, but I percaya we have one of the best policing force in Asia.
We do.
You know, right? Like we, as much as people like to kadang-kadang kutuk pasukan biru, but honestly, with my network of friends and people that we work with, memang we have some of the best police in Asia. And I know for a fact that for this particular case, memang PDRM memang all out because it was a not say personal issue, but satu Malaysia can relate, can feel the loss. The whole country was siapa yang bunuh arwah ZAYN RAYYAN, and for him to say so close yet so far, for me it's a sign, right? And if what Datuk said today is true, that orang boleh confess tapi last minute swing, benda ni perkara biasa, Mas. It happens for many cases.
Yes.
That means it can happen today, tomorrow, lusa, semalam. And kita kena terima benda tu. Rakyat Malaysia kena terima. It does not make the person innocent, but it also doesn't make the person guilty. The guilty verdict can only be done, correct me if I'm wrong, kalau bukti lengkap. Especially 302, because that's a huge, there's no bail. 302, you can be in the lockup for 2 years with no bail. But imagine if you're innocent. You kena makan berak dalam lockup. It's a seram place to be. And imagine you are innocent, tapi 2 years later, you're found innocent. You know what I mean, Mas? In a way, I guess this is our legal system. Mungkin masyarakat Malaysia, netizens ni memang tak sabar nak dapat jawapan.
Tapi Kek bagus juga bila jadi perkara macam ni, lebih banyak ibu bapa lebih aware. Lebih aware dengan this kind of situation bila mana dia kena lebih berhati-hati dengan your children. Bukan kita nak cakap pasal ialah pembunuh, you know, predators you cakap tadi kan. Macam orang-orang yang mungkin kadang-kadang ada juga macam guru-guru yang you know, sexual arrest murid-murid, things like that. So parents, you got to back up. Kan, jangan just let go saja.
Correct.
You got to.
And I always tell every youngster that come to Munafik Hunter or on my social media, guys, we will do our best untuk siasat, networking, find the proof. We will do our best. Tapi kalau tiba-tiba pelaku tu terlepas ataupun tak mengaku salah, I always tell them, mungkin di dunia dia dapat lari, tapi di akhirat it's a whole different ball game. Lagi seram than a lockup, you know what I mean?
Yeah, at least we try.
Yeah.
At Munafik Hunter, you've tried. And a lot of DMs kan, Cap? Satu hari berapa puluh ribu DMs.
Yeah. And to say, is it just our judicial system and our system? Tak. Semua negara ni sama je.
Sama je.
Dia kasih the benefit to everyone who is being arrested. Dia kasih kemungkinan orang tu memang tak bersalah dulu. So, and that's what we should give lah. You know, unless there is glaring evidence. Kalau tidak, susah.
Do you see it as like a straightforward kind of thing? I mean, from your point of view lah. Macam you tengok, kadang-kadang ada setengah lawyer tu dia tengok,
Oh, honestly, Mas, looking at the circumstances yang arwah meninggal tu, there's a lot of blood stain. Okay, ada cala, ada tukar baju, apa semua tu. And if it's not done by a professional, baju kena buang, apa semua tu, mesti ada enough evidence here and there. Okay, masalahnya sekarang ni is mungkin lah evidence at that point of time yang ada tu tak dicari at that point of time. So kan jumpa was 2 days before, but right now where we are is already 6 months down the road lah kata. Mungkin evidence yang patut ada tu was in that 1 week. Mungkin. Okay. And we don't know what happened. Sekarang ni benda yang 1 minggu tu kita dah 6 bulan ke depan, yang mana baju, benda lain mungkin dah dicuci.
Plus it was raining that night.
Yeah, so this kind of things kacau lah. So kalau you tak settle siasatan pembunuhan in a short period of time, evidence lost. Evidence lost.
Time dia.
Time. So if you see happen today hilang. Alright? So kalau jumpa let's say 24 hours, 48 hours jumpa. 48 hours maknanya there must be blood somewhere. Katalah kata baju baru. It was a new shirt. Where's the old shirt? It must be thrown somewhere. So what do you do? The only thing you can do is trace mana movement setiap orang yang berkait dekat kawasan tu at that point of time mungkin.
Correct.
Tapi how to go back 6 months now ke that time? You tak boleh.
Correct. It was in a way is well in the edisi siasat punya posting, it did say that the pelaku buang letak dalam plastic bag. Then buang benda tersebut. Kalau this particular person was tahan maybe 6 months ago, maybe bila dia cakap yes, I buang plastic bag tu dekat belakang sana.
Yeah. And then jumpa plastic bag.
And then they found the plastic bag, then maybe it would have been the evidence that would lock 302 dalam mahkamah.
Correct.
But like what you said, like what Dato said, bila time is against you, time is against you.
What was your reaction masa the first? I just want to know, what was your reaction when you saw
my
this?
reaction?
Yeah, your reaction.
Bahaya. I cannot say my reaction about this particular ES punya posting. Tapi like everything that we handle, we just study every evidence or every siapa-siapa yang bagi kita bahan, kita study. That's all we do. We don't come to a conclusion, and we compare notes with this bahan yang edisi siasat keluar. Kita compare this with the statement by the police. Kita compare dengan chronology from the media yang Astro Wani ke, TV3 ke, and then statement from the various eyewitnesses. Then from there we just see where is the common consistency. Yeah. In this particular case tentang Pampers, waktu arwah ZAYN dijumpa, keadaan arwah ZAYN dijumpa. That's the only thing we can do, you know. Yeah.
Dia sebenarnya kalau kita want to place someone dengan arwah, basically is the DNA yang kita jumpa. So for example lah, kalau arwah ZAYN tu ada DNA someone yang terlibat dalam kes ni yang disiasat, that will connect. But you have to understand, I don't think we have that. Maknanya arwah ZAYN there's nothing to connect on his body during autopsy ni to anyone around his area. It must have been that way.
But the parents nak buat macam mana kalau parents they handle it all the time?
No, what I mean when he went missing.
Oh, when he
the
went
body
missing.
was found 48 hours ago.
Alright.
His body was too clean to the extent that you cannot trace orang lain punya DNA atas dia tau. You know, kalau you lakukan sometimes ada pergelutan and sometimes you tercala yourself. Ataupun kuku ZAYN ada tercala your kulit masa dia tengah self defense for example. So these kind of things must not be evident anywhere.
Correct.
You get what I mean? Selalunya kalau self defense you cala sini ada kisah and then you cala orang tu.
Scratch someone, yeah.
So I believe that 48 hours masa dia jumpa tu, this evidence was clean from everywhere in that vicinity lah. Tak jumpa.
Correct. And that's why I said my theory, ni theory ya, bukan conclusion, that this must be done by a psycho, memang level Joker punya psycho. The fact that you can kill someone, clean it, stay around the location for 48 hours, and then letak mayat tu nicely with new pampers, psycho, ataupun orang yang terbuat sayang dan menyesal.